Good morning. It is 11:24, and this is May 26th, which actually makes us day 37 now here in Thailand. I'm in Chumphon, and as you can see behind me, it's raining. It's been raining all night really hard and stuff, and I checked the weather. It doesn't look like it's going to change much until about 5 o'clock. It should start clearing up. Since I decided to take the western route, so I'm going to be going westbound from here on the 4. It looks like I got at least 46 kilometers before I hit the border of Burma. And then I'll be going south. The 4 actually does a 90-degree down. Accommodation wise, I don't see a lot that's listed on booking.com or anything like that. When I check the comments for prices on Google Maps, it seems like most of them want around 500 600 baht. So that puts me in a dilemma of weather being one, right, and for camping and staying dry. So everything is wrapped up in plastic bags, so I have the dry clothes in there. But really, I just want to get on the road. I've been trying to wait out the storm a little. It's 12 o'clock checkout here, but that puts me at a late start for trying to get through the mountains here. But the 4 does actually run along. It looks like the base of the 4. I checked the contour lines on organic maps, and also I put in the 3D view on Google Maps. So yeah, it looks like me and Tom were talking about it on the Telegram the other day. It looks fairly like we're going on the base, and he recommended a chicken spot over there that looks actually pretty decent after you go past the 90-degree bend. It's what is it? A Thabli chicken and rice shop. So that is, how far is that one? But that's like the next civilized area that I'll actually be hitting. It's like that'll be when I'm coming out of the mountains. So they are actually 50 kilometers. So I gotta at least make 50 kilometers before I hit that next town. I looked for the name of the town. I couldn't find it anywhere. So maybe if I find it later, I'll put it in post edit down below. But I'm just having a really hard time trying to figure out the names. I'm looking on their addresses and stuff like this, because the name's usually on the address, and it just gives me the Buri district, Ranag. I'm not sure if that's the name of the town or not, but anyway, I'll figure it out and then put it in post edit. I got some rain gear on me. I should stay fairly dry, and yeah, it's just going to be like this. It's no big deal. I'll just find opportunities to take out the camera and do some filming along the way when between the raindrops. Okay guys, let's hit the road. Okay, as always, starting the Strava app here. Okay.
Starting ride.
Alright, turn that voice down a little. Okay, we're off and running, guys. It's 11:31, official start time. Hey guys, I'm stopping in my my regular spot, chicken and rice, of course. I'm filling up for the road. I don't think there's really anything stops in between. I'm just gonna fill my belly before I go, and then I can mention how much I actually spent yesterday. I did hit my max. I did also spend, so I hit the $1,000 or $1,000. The 1,000 baht limit, so that's $30. I spent extra money on the accommodations, 13 on the room. But other than that, the rest of it just kind of went towards the food and drinks and stuff. Like I said, I think my biggest expenditure is just the habit of always drinking something, and so. Yeah, so I'm just going to fill up before I go. Right now, actually, if you look out the window here, the rain is pretty well stopped. I know it's all foggy and stuff, but so right now I'm riding between the raindrops. that that cheap plastic rain suit doesn't breathe well at all, so I'm only going to wear it if it's really raining. Otherwise I'm just going to sauna suit my body up and get drenched anyway, but it'll keep me dry on the hard downpours, you know. What this route has, I don't know. I did see a comment, and when I was looking into the places to stay out there, like I said, their prices are not advertised on any of the platforms. So looking through the comments and stuff, it does look like other bicyclers take this route on the western side. But I said also the rooms are 500 baht, which is, or more. So you're talking $15. So I'm going to avoid at all costs, unless it starts raining down on me really hard and I'm starting to get soaked to the bone, and then I'll use it as a precautionary, like a, a safety measure, so I don't have to do a hard miserable night. I mean, I'm bound to have them, right? Like sleeping on that bench wasn't the best, but I stayed dry, and I actually accomplished a lot the next day because I was up so damn early. Today I'm waking up way late. So but I was also hiding from the raindrops because it was pouring last night. I mean, it was like, what is that noise? And then I was like, oh, that's rain. I mean, it was like all night, so the AC was on, so I couldn't distinguish the sound of the rain yet. So, but after I figured it out, it didn't stop until this morning, and it started letting up right as I was leaving. So hey, good thing. It was letting up as soon as I took off out the door. Alright guys, that's it. I'm just going to fill up my belly, have some caffeine, hit the road, and see what the other side of Thailand is on the other coast. Looks like. Alright, bye. So I'm really surprised on how well the weather's been holding up. It's sprinkled on me a little, but just sprinkles. And it's very warm, so it's got that tropical feel to it. It's not cold at all. Really nice warm breeze. So it's a really enjoyable ride actually right now. So I'm digging it. Hey, I stopped by there's a 7-Eleven along the way. There's a lot more things along the way than I thought there was going to be. But with the rain and stuff and the possibility of me camping and being a lot higher out here, I decided to stop by and pick some things up. Like I got cotton balls, Vaseline, and one of these little containers. So after I eat the chocolates out of these, I'll make up some fire starters with the cotton balls and Vaseline. And I'll just use no need to buy a Ziploc to so you take the Vaseline, you take the cotton balls, put them in like a bag, and you put the Vaseline in it, and you just mush it around until the cotton balls get really saturated with the Vaseline. And once this is empty, this is food grade container, so it should be waterproof. It is waterproof. Then I just stuff all the cotton balls in here when I need them. A fire starter, I can take it out, and these work a lot better than, duct tape's good too. I've used duct tape. Duct tape's a good fire starter, but Vaseline and cotton balls have always seemed to work the best for me. So I decided to go ahead and just have a little survival gear on me. Right now I'm not carrying much of anything. I have a knife and a lighter, but pretty well. And a knife and a fire starter, a lighter is all you really, that's the most basic thing you need. You can pretty well get by with everything. But to make my life a little easier, how easy the Vaseline and cotton balls actually light up, and for how much time you actually get out of them, it's well worth it. And actually you can extend the flame by having it more compact, but it's harder to start. Or if you pull the strands apart even more, it'll light a lot easier, but it'll burn up faster. So there's a little bit of a variation on how long it actually burns. But yeah, it's a good fire starter. Anyway, that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to share that with everybody because I think, you know, I have my water filtration, I have my knife, and I have my lighter. That's the basic, all I really need. And I'm traveling to a country where you don't really need survival gear. But if I end up getting stuck in another miserable night, it'd be nice to have the opportunity to start up a nice little fire. Yeah, I know the wood will be wet and stuff like that, but there's always ways to find dry wood. You know, so anyway, that's the plan. I'll make this up later. Time-wise, I'm about halfway to the bend, and time-wise it is 1:38, so I'm doing okay. Anyway, guys, that's it. Okay, I ate some chocolate, so I decided I might as well just make it while I'm here. I got the bright orange one once the labeling completely comes off eventually. Just so it stands out. Bright orange stands out from its environment. Yeah, so just get as many cotton balls as you think is going to go inside here. And normally you just put it into like a Ziploc bag, and you just put the Vaseline with the cotton balls in there, you mix it up, you just keep it in the Ziploc bag, you know, carry that around with you. But I'm going to carry mine in this, so I usually just start to pull them apart a little, that way the Vaseline gets in it a little bit better. Not much, I mean just enough, you know. And I do this to each one. And once the Vaseline's in it, it'll compact back down. So yeah, just kind of pull them apart a little to separate them. Yeah, see, now they're all nice and I could probably use a few more than that, because after the Vaseline's on it, it'll compact down. So and then just be very generous with this, you know, like nice big amount. And it starts like super easy, like very, very easy. So if you got a ferro rod, it works very good with a ferro rod. And I should wear gloves, but I'm not gonna spend extra on just gloves. It'll wear off, right? It's good for your skin. Then let's see how that does. I don't even mind using up the whole thing of Vaseline, because I don't really use Vaseline on my skin anymore. It collects dirt. So when Vaseline is good about keeping moisture in your skin. So I was using it, but thing is the dirt collects on it so much, and then your skin is just constantly dirty. So riding a bike in Vaseline doesn't work real good. I stick to something like baby oil or something. Now that Diddy's arrested, they have a reserve of baby oil that they got a stockpile of it. All the stock went down on it. No, but I do actually use baby oil on my skin. It seems to work the best when it comes to just making the skin soft and stuff. And it's sold everywhere out here, so I'm not the only one that's actually, you know, just anything to help protect from the brutal sun all the time. And I have sunscreen. I just don't use it that much. Okay, this stuff's good too because it will light in the rain and stuff like that. And usually only takes one spark to really get it going, and it lasts a while. I mean, it doesn't last for a long time. You still want to have dry kindling and everything ready for when you light it, but it gives you a lot longer of a light time. Okay. I guess I really didn't need the bag, so I'm gonna just get it all over my hands anyway. Alright, I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, now that I got everything massaged into the cotton balls, one thing that you want to do is make sure that you put something to retrieve it down in the container, so you can pull it out and the cotton balls will actually come out. Usually just a small piece of wire, string, or something like that. All I have is a piece of the handle off the plastic bag. So the initial first part that'll go in the first cotton ball will take that part down with it. So like there you go, and then basically you just feed it in, and that way you can retrieve it. You know what I'm saying? That way you can pull it out. Otherwise you're gonna have, oops, you're gonna have that happen. It slipped right past that. There you go. And you just feed them in, and yeah. That way when you do need it, you just take this part and you start pulling them out that way. So that's all it is. I'm going to load this up, throw it in my bag, and I'm going to hit the road. So yeah, it's a pretty simple task. Now I have a fire starter in my bag when I need it. And now my hands got Vaseline all over them, and I can't really touch the buttons on the camera. All right, guys. Phuket, 389 kilometers, and I had to push hard to get there. I can't take it slow. I got 13 more days on this visa, I do believe, so yeah, I'm gonna have to make a hard push. I have to figure out how many kilometers total to the border and do my math tonight on that. So I know I got 389 down to Phuket, and then I have to figure out the rest, the additional from there. That way, because I want to get there, at least aim for like 3 days early before it's over. Before my visa's expired. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Okay. Hello. Hello. Bye bye. Right now it's 5:35 in the evening. I'm going to keep pushing at least another 30 kilometers. I'm a little over 70 kilometers. I want to try and get in 100 kilometers each day just so I do good on time. But something that was brought up by Tom, like I said, we were talking on the American Hobo Telegram board. So check it out. If you guys aren't part of that, it's an easy way to talk back and forth. If you catch me, it's kind of like our chat board, I guess, that we can use. But anyway, we weren't sure how this road was going to be. And it's actually a very nice road. It's been like this the whole way. Very new, meaning no potholes, big shoulder, and fairly flat. There hasn't been one uphill that I actually had to get off my bike for and push. It's all been very, very mellow inclines, very mellow declines. So, yeah, it's a very nice ride because the traffic's not bad either. So, and it's just a beautiful ride. So yeah, it's a great place to take a bike ride. And there's plenty of spots along the way, like 7-Elevens, and there's 7-Elevens, there's different small country stores and stuff that you can stop at. And yeah, pick up whatever you need. So 4 is definitely a nice route. Nice, easy route too. .6:28, sun is setting, and I still got 15 kilometers to go to hit the 100-kilometer mark. Hey everyone, it is 11:10 right now. I'm trying to be quiet. I think there's a house behind me, but this is a bus station, one of the bus stations along the road, and I'm pulled over since it's 11 o'clock. I just pulled over. I got my wet shirt off. I did 135 kilometers today, so starting at noon, that's a hard push, and I am tired. Tonight I'm just gonna layer up on my clothes. I saw this as I was going by, and it looked like it was good enough in the shadows. I mean, it's right off the street, obviously. Well, that's okay. The trucks won't keep me up too much. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get a few hours sleep, a little snooze, and then I'll get up and continue to push tomorrow. Um, yeah, I'm kind of trying to stay above 100 kilometers a day, or around 100 kilometers a day. Um, I underestimated my time on my visa. For some reason, I got in my brain that in 3 days I'd only have 10 days left. So um, since today is the 37th day, right? The 37th day. I was thinking in 3 days, would be 40, and that would only left me 10 more days on my visa. I don't know how I got 50 days in my head, but no, I got 20, so I'm doing all right on time. I'm not, I mean, I still have to sit down and calc out how many kilometers it is total, but I figured just do a hard push for the next few days, get down to Phuket area, and then figure out what I have remaining. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad I'm glad I got some kilometers down and all that stuff. And really, I was surprised. It started off. It started off when I was at my hotel room, raining all night and raining all the way up to the point that I actually left the door. And then it was supposed to keep raining all the way up to about 5 o'clock from what the weather said. And it actually cleared up, and it was a very enjoyable ride. And the road conditions, like I said, when I was talking to Tom, we weren't, on the Telegram, we weren't sure what the roads were going to be like. But when by the contour lines, it did show that it was going right through the valleys, so it wasn't actually tackling any of the passes, trying to go over the mountains or anything. So yeah, it was fairly flat. There was a little uphill, a little downhill, but nothing I had to get off my bike and actually push for. So yeah, like I said, it was very enjoyable. It had a nice wide shoulder the whole time. The roads were in good condition, no potholes. So uh, it's an awesome bicycle road. Um, Other than that, yeah, that's pretty well it. Um, Tomorrow I'll continue on and see what everything's got. Um, and yeah, and one thing else I'll just add, I was keeping track of my financials, just kind of, I've been very open source, transparent on everything that I spend my money on, what I buy stuff for, how I make my money, how much money I've made, about how I got it, like from working those 3 years, basically 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever, um, living in the field in a tent and all that stuff. So I've been very open and transparent about it. And when I say that, these last few days and stuff, last few times, trying to show that I only spent about 1,000 baht a day, which is correct. It's still correct. The last few times, food's only been about 500 baht, which is $15, and that's actually quite a bit of money. Um, Quite a bit of money here in in Thailand to be spending food on. If you think about it, if each meal is $5, if you go to a restaurant, let's say, and spend $5 is a big, decent sized meal. That's 3 meals a day. I mean, that's, and I don't eat like that. I don't. I eat the cheapest food and all this stuff. So yeah, my finances are $30 a day. Um, Now, when it comes to actually doing a financial breakdown, step by step, item by item, and stuff like that, it's not my responsibility to do an audit on myself. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you the information, and my information is always true. But thing is if you don't, if the information doesn't sound right to you or doesn't add up, well, it's not my responsibility to prove it. You know, and I knew this would. I knew there was going to be some people that doubt my stories or doubt this, and this is one of the reasons I actually put that one video out, the American Hobo Unleashed or whatever. I didn't know what to name it. I just called it Unleashed, whatever, to show that these stories that I do tell are factual. These things these are actual real experiences and things that I've done, and I've actually lived this life. I lived those 3 years in the field stuff. 3.5 years in that field. I traveled. I hopped the freight liners. I hitchhiked. I've done all these things. I've survived on nothing, and I've survived, on a lot, on abundant when I was working in Vegas for 10 years. So, so I'm no longer, because now you guys have basically an idea of how much I spend and stuff like this, right? Which it's 1,000 on the average. Um, Anybody could have figured that out, because the reason why is I've been, I spend only about $10 or less on my accommodations, right? And that, and if you take the 500 baht I spend on average of food, then you're only coming out to about 800 baht, you know. So outside of that, yeah, there's going to be miscellaneous things like when I had to purchase 3 tickets just because to go back and get my bag, that was 2 tickets on top of, something that I didn't have to spend. So these fluctuations happen, and I can survive these fluctuations, but they're not a consistent, constant thing that's always, so if so all I can do is honestly present this and say this is the truth. This is the truth, and if you have a hard time believing any of my stories or any of my numbers, well, that's your choice. That's something maybe you should, work out with yourself, because I'm not going to work it out for you. And yeah, it's just I don't want to do it just because it's out of the norm. It's out of the norm. I don't personally keep track of it myself. I know what I can spend, and I stay underneath that. I mold my spending habits to match to match the amount that I allow myself to spend. So anyway, that's that's just basically how it is. I'm not going to keep continuing breaking down my finances, but I'm going to keep continuing telling you openly and honestly everything I'm spending my money on. And if you want to break out the pen and paper and figure out what I'm spending each day, just add about 500, baht for the food, and I'll tell you along the way how much I'm spending on each hostel or hotel room, and you'll know every purchase I make, because I've always been open. Every single thing I've purchased, I've listed on one of my videos when I bought it. So yeah, from my 5,000 or 50,000 milliamp hour power bank. Well, when I bought it, it's on the video and how much I bought it for and everything. So yeah, so I'm pretty transparent on everything. So anyway, yeah, that's it. That's just going over that. Other than that, I try and be as accommodating as possible. But like I said, the only reason I don't want to continue that is because it increases my workload, and I don't normally function that way anyway. I don't know anybody that actually, on a day-to-day basis, writes down how much they're spending on each item. And if it's just to audit myself to try and prove my numbers because you have doubts, well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. So anyway, other than that, thank you guys. Yeah, thank you. And I'm not trying to kick on, the request or anything. It's just, it's not who I am. So I'm not going to do it. All right. Good night, y'all. And I'm going to go to bed. I'm tired and all this stuff. And I'll continue this tomorrow. All right. Night, night.